You are part
National lockdown. Lockdown. The Lockdown Companion.
Episode 32 with none other than Ron.
Dude, where's all the energy
Copperfielder.
come from?
You what?
Where did all the energy come from?
Just fucking switches on just like that.
Whoa!
It's incredible, isn't it?
Whoa! Yeah, it was. Like, so obviously, before we start recording this, we always have a bit of a chat, and we're like, yeah, just chit-chatting away, and then we're like, let's record, and you just come in with fire.
Yeah, exactly. It's all like this. It's all like, yeah, the tap doesn't work, so we need like a new set of washers and this and that. Yeah.
And then it's like,
Just turn it.
let's
on.
go.
Dude, people
Public
don't tune
service.
in because they want to hear fucking low energy. Shit,
Nah, they
do
don't want Moaning
you know?
McMoan face. Not at all. Speaking of
No.
low energy, I'm just going to grab a drink from behind me.
You do that. What is your drink? I feel like you're just going to end up plugging some drinks company. Is this planned?
No, it's not planned at all.
Okay, cool. No, that's
I'll not
cool.
even show you.
That's cool.
That's how unplanned
okay.
this is.
So today we have our guest Grant Chopperfielder. I'm very excited actually. Let me tell you. Let me introduce my Chopperfielder experience.
Okay.
Chopperfielder basically beat me at every single contest I ever entered when I was younger. And he kind of single-handedly extinguished my love for competing in dirt jumps because he was quite simply too good. And that's actually the truth, man.
Really, yeah.
Gnarly, yeah. But
I feel like he is the godfather of almost like British dirt jumping and slopestyle, though,
he
right?
is, dude, yeah.
That's cool. Really
I
stoked
guess
to have
we'll
him on
talk
as a
about
guest.
it more. We should talk. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, really stoked.
Good guest. Really good guest. Thank you for sorting it out. I don't know him at all. Not
Not at all.
at all. So that'll be nice. We can just riff. It'll be fun.
Absolutely. No, he's
Hyped.
the man. Real character. Real character. Before we actually introduce, because he's coming any moment now, really, isn't he? Well, we got half an hour, dude. Yeah, we're chilling.
We're chilling. We got a bit of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the bathroom's fully functional. Bathroom chat.
Bathroom chat. Bathroom gate update. Yeah, it's up and running. Just missing a floor still. No floor. No like laminate. And the basin still doesn't work. But that's just because
What do you mean? What doesn't work about it?
the basin it's not linked up because the guy needs to come and take it out to put the floor down. So he's not like
Got you.
put that together. But yeah, running good. Like we're up and running. It's nice to have a bathroom again.
That was a
Yeah.
wild cough you just did, by the way, dude.
It was deep as well. It came from
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from. Like deep.
I'm worried. You might.
Really.
Is it?
I was around the most people. In fact, funny story. So
Is it the Rona Lisa?
the Mona Lisa. So you know, like the pubs opened again yesterday. Today we're recording on Tuesday, so on Monday the pubs opened. And I'm not a pubby guy. I don't like pubs. I don't really go too often and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's been like this thing. Obviously, whenever me and Emma talk, I'm like, I'm not going to rush to the pub. I don't care. I'm not too fussed. Blah blah blah. I was in the pub yesterday at 10:30 a.m. I was like, lads.
Yeah.
Nah, not at all. But yeah, I did end up in a pub yesterday at 10:30 a.m.
Well,
So
it wasn't all bad. Were you outside a pub?
yeah, sat outside. A friend of mine
Perfect.
visited yesterday. Toby from Fox came and visited yesterday.
Nice.
And we were going to meet for a coffee in a coffee shop outside a nice coffee shop, but the coffee shop was closed. So we walked across the road and ended up in the pub.
Perfect.
But it's one of those pubs that's more of a restaurant and food. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like a lads. It's not like a White Swan. Like a lads.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that what
So
the
it's more-
laddie one is near you? It's called the White Swan, is it?
Oh, they're all White Swan, aren't they? The laddie ones.
I don't know, like Red Lion.
Red Lion, White Swan. What else?
The Pig and Whistle.
We don't have a pig and whistle up here.
We don't either, but I always say to people, we'll meet at the Pig and Whistle.
What would you
'cause I
call a
literally
pub if you
forget
open one?
Every Pig and Whistle, probably, yeah.
Would you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pig and whistle.
Yeah, I think so. Just avoid the Royals, you know, especially at the minute. Yeah, just stick to Pig and Whistle.
Wonder what pig and whistle. Yeah, I don't know what I'd call a pub. Don't know. Something like the door's knob or something like, it's just something like super random.
A funny play on words.
Yeah, the door's knob.
I like it.
So yeah, I was ended up in the pub yesterday, and it was weird because there was people around, and yeah, have you ever had one of those days, dude, where things just don't click together? Like something's off, and I had one of those days yesterday where everything was off. I couldn't do stuff. I was dropping stuff. I went out for a ride. I lost my car key, which turns out I left in the car and left the car open and left it on a housing estate.
Did it self-lock?
No, it stayed. It was cool. I just got back and like all my shit was still there. My wallet.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, the North, mate. The North. Do you know what I mean?
On an off day yesterday, basically.
Oh, mate, so off. I mean, all sorts of things happened. I lost my GoPro mount. I lost my GoPro for a little bit because I put it down on the trail to walk back up.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't find it. Just things were just off. Like went for a ride. Went and opened up this new trail in Sheffield. There's a little sort of like country park. It's called Rother Valley, and the club had raised money to have this sort of purpose-built mountain bike trail put in.
Oh, nice.
It's pretty good. It's just corners, like super flowy, a few little jumps on it and stuff like that.
Nice.
So I went and opened that, and just was off. You know, when you even get on the bike and you just like things aren't clicking.
Yeah, dude, I hear you. Yeah, for sure.
And then I ended up. What we had to do was, because they didn't want people riding it beforehand, the company bike track left like big logs all up the trail. And this trail was kind of long, so we sort of met first and moved all these logs, and it took ages.
Yeah.
But someone had left like a pretty big tree branch with like loads of pretty sharp bits sticking out of it, was like on the trail a bit. So on my first run, I came down and sort of like rode by the side of it, and one of the branches is stuck in my knee. And dude, I did it about 6 p.m. and it's still bleeding.
Oh, was it one where it's like pointing towards you, kind of?
Yeah, so I rode into
it.
it.
Worst, isn't it? Yeah.
And I felt it go in, slammed the brakes on, and it had like snapped. But I had like it's deep, man. It's like I'm borderline. It's borderline. Like, do I go and get it looked at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's painful, man. Honestly, it's really killing.
Where
so
on
yeah,
your leg is it?
It's just literally at the side of my knee.
Is it? Which
Yeah.
side? What do you mean?
Would I show people? Just because it's one of them where you're going to go.
Look lame?
Is that it?
Yeah.
But it's
Can't
deep.
trust.
It's like it's only there.
Oh no! Do you know your knee is so overexposed that there could be a huge gash there, and you wouldn't be able to see it anyway.
It's deep,
Your
man.
knee is glowing, dude.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Shiny knees, they
Jeez.
call me. That's what they call me up here. Old shiny knees.
Really? Yeah. Shiny knees.
Good knees.
He's Chinese. Any good?
That's amazing.
There you go.
Anyway, enough about me.
Nasty. I stuck my brake lever, old set of DX brakes, V brakes. Do you remember them?
Yeah, do ya?
I got a lever of those stuck in my knee, and I still have a scar. I remember I had to pull it out, and it was all like, when it like as it comes out, it does that. It sucks your skin into like a volcano, and then returns. It's horrible.
Yeah, it is.
Didn't get stitches or anything though.
Maybe I don't think. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do need. I don't know. I don't think it needs stitches, but I think it just needs looking at, just in case there's something still in there. 'Cause it was in. Do you know what I mean? And I physically had to pull out a bit of stick.
There you go.
It's just one of those days, and then it was after that. I went to pump up my tyre, broke the valve off. It's just
One of them.
It's just Monday. It was just a Monday.
Monday
Monday
blues.
blues.
Hey, do you like my new desk height?
I do, mate. Yeah, that
Cool, isn't it?
T-shirt is pretty special, mate. I'll be honest with you.
I didn't mean for you to notice it at all.
Oh, did you not?
I was just sort of chilling. Like that's how I chill, because my chest's real big. Because I go to the gym. I don't know if you knew, like the gym's.
Oh, it's back
as well.
open.
Yeah,
So you're instantly stacked.
Holy fuck! I go in the gym. I'm so fucked from the gym. Like already, I feel really like all over ill. My whole body hurts. I'm such an idiot. Just go straight back in and just try and do literally everything straight away. Every like Olympic lift, and it's such a knob. I really am such. I went in going like, dude, just ease yourself in, and then just straight away, like, right,
Really?
we're on.
So you were one of the first as well. So you were like me in the pub, but you were in the gym.
Yeah, well, I went to a pub as well.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You have to book a table.
We actually got away with it. We got a country pub down the road from us, and
Yeah.
my brother was in town because he had a game in town, and he just said, "Oh, we're going to try and find a pub," and I was like, "You're probably not gonna, right? It's going to need to be booked." But it was there were tables spare. It was insane.
Really?
I thought it was going to be more crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're in the countryside, so it's not surprising.
No, it's true.
sure
the same
it-
yesterday where we went. There was only
Really?
like 8 people.
There you go.
I know it's 10:30 in the morning, but you know the place does do breakfast and it's really good coffee and stuff like that. But yeah, there was.
Eight
I don't.
alcoholics.
Yeah, I feel like people haven't rushed. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Probably in the cities it's a little bit different, but like out a little bit more rural. People have probably just gone, well, I'm all right now. Like I've sat and drank at home, saved myself a load of money. Do I really want to go back down this rabbit hole of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, spending a load of cash every weekend? in
Went
the
to the
pub? I don't
gym
know.
yesterday. Went to the gym today, and both times there's no people in there. Really, like
Wow.
weirder. There's like really, honestly, the gym is massive. I go to, and there were 4 people in it.
No way.
Makes you worry for business. It makes you think about like this, like, you know, what is an economic downturn? What is it? I don't even know. Is
Yeah.
it just people don't do shit? You know, that people do less shit, they buy less shit. That is an
Yeah.
economic downturn, really, isn't it? So
It's interesting because
Yeah.
obviously shops are just opening again, sort of non-essential stores as we call them now, non-essential. And it's funny because I had a call off one of our sort of Saks customers yesterday, and I was like, "Bloody hell! Like you're calling me on a Monday? You've only just opened. Like what's going on? Are you busy?" And they were like, "Not really, no." It's like, "Oh," and he goes, "I think people have just spent up a lot of them, and maybe they've sat at home and bought loads of stuff online, and
yeah.
it's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. I think over the next few months, because I don't think that we've had that initial rush. There's been a few stores that I think, but I know Primark yesterday was off the chain because they don't really have an online thing
Right.
store or anything, so people will have been rushing for the cheap whatever you get from Primark pants or I don't know.
Yeah, probably can.
But I think most retailers are just. It's no different, like you said with the gym. They've just opened back up. Maybe people are doing something different. I don't know.
Who knows?
Interesting.
Yeah, the great outdoors seems a little less crowded, which is nice. Like
Does
where
it?
I live, it's not as bad as it's been. And
Yeah.
it's like, I guess it's warmer than it was. So who knows? Maybe there's a series I don't know about or something.
Maybe, yeah.
I normally
Maybe.
find the series after they've been cool and popular anyway.
I don't know. We were on it with the. I remember the Tiger King. You were on that early.
Tiger King, we got it.
You
early.
were on that early.
We got that early, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
I
really,
feel
we
like-
should be current, shouldn't we? We should have a load of current events that we actually talk about. I reckon we
Yeah.
should. Don't have to be bikes; they can be anything. We should.
Yeah, we should do that. I think people could probably send them over as well if they wanted. And be like, "Oh,
That's a
have you
good
seen
idea.
this? Have you seen this?" And we could be like, talk about it a little bit.
That is a good idea. Yeah, that is a good idea.
So, are we even in lockdown anymore?
I don't know, dude.
So I literally, before I did this, Emma was like, "Oh, you're still doing that?" And I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh."
Ah, it's a really good point. I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Well, no, there's still restrictions. You can still only
People
go
are still
outside
furloughed.
in six groups of 6. Is it? I think still.
Yeah, 6, yeah. Group
Yeah.
6
So
is no...
that's not normal, is it?
No. People are still furloughed. Again, would love to hear from people out there. If you're listening to this right now, like send a DM or a comment somewhere. And
Yeah.
like, are you furloughed? What's the deal? Have you opened a business? It'd be nice because it's hard to really gauge it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only go from your own experience. Like, imagine 2 years ago, someone said, "Yeah, the government will impose something that can be almost like it's a law where you can only be outside in a group of 6." You would have absolutely never thought that was a thing.
No, never. Do
My
people
brother-
seem to be sticking to it where you are? Like, are you seeing big groups out?
Yeah, I think actually people tend to. Yeah, I think so. We certainly have as a group of riders, and we're quite well. We're a bunch of idiots, really. So I think we're pretty much on 6 most of the time. I mean, it seems
Yeah.
pointless when you go out for a ride in a group of 6 and then you ride past, let's say, a skate park or a kids' play area. There's no
Yeah.
groups of 6 anything. It's,
Yeah, mate. I think there's a lot of holes in
yeah,
this.
it doesn't have to make sense. I always see it gets me every 5 seconds. It gets me. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to achieve what they're trying to achieve, which is good.
Maybe. Who knows? Again,
Just fucking trying to slow it down, I guess. You know, I guess they are still trying to slow it down. Fuck knows.
and it's
Dude,
still
I
bad
don't know.
around Europe. I think we spoke about
Yeah.
this on last episode. Again, Europe's not good. I know. Again, Germany, France, they're all sort of having issues, but we seem to be coming out the back of it right
Yeah.
now. So let's wait and
Dude.
see. We'll carry on.
Dude, should we quit the COVID chat? Jeez,
Yeah.
honestly,
Yeah,
what's
people
happened to
don't-
us?
people
Well, we
don't
got
need COVID
well.
chat.
This episode's actually exciting, isn't it? Because we got a giveaway, dude. We got a giveaway.
We got a giveaway,
We've got a giveaway.
and it's a good one, man.
Bloody, we're stepping it up.
Aren't we just?
The giveaways the last 2 weeks, right? They've been
Yeah.
solid.
Really solid, dude. To be fair, and they're only going to get similar to this. I wouldn't say better. I think we're getting there with this. I think we're.
You think this is the pinnacle? We're just like going to flatline from here.
Nah, I think there's going to be more. I reckon in a year or so we'll be doing cars and win a
Oh,
van.
imagine how sick that'd be. Yeah. This is a good one,
Like
though.
and share. Win yourself an AMG.
So, who is this episode brought to us by? Can you tell me? As well as
Yes.
Focus Bikes, obviously.
Obviously, this episode is brought to us by Stans, who have been a long-term supporter of you personally, Ollie, which is really cool.
That's right,
and it's
yeah.
awesome that they've got involved. Such a cool company, heritage in mountain biking, amazing products, and they've got an amazing giveaway for all our listeners, which is insane. So
I haven't read the giveaway yet, but imagine if they gave away something like these wheels. Like, imagine how insane that'd be.
yeah,
Like-
it would, wouldn't it?
That'd be. Well, do you know what it is? Have you read the email yet?
Yeah, I have actually. I've just read it just before, and the giveaway, funnily enough, Ollie, is a set of wheels. And it's like those exact wheels you just had as well, which is crazy. So it's the.
Yeah, but that must be.
You're speechless, aren't you?
Yeah, but they're not the Flow S1 Boost ones in 27.5 because they're the ones that I.
You mean the most popular wheels?
Well, yeah, but they're not giving away the Flow S1 Boost.
You mean they're not
version
giving
in
away the
27
stuff that they
can't
could?
be, right?
You mean they're not giving away the stuff that they could just easily sell? They actually want to give them away to somebody.
Yeah, but it can't be that. It can't be that model. It must be the.
Dude, I couldn't believe it either. It is that model.
Huh?
Dude, I know.
It's
It's
actually
insane.
that is an insane giveaway. Fantastic. So what do we have to do for this?
All right, man. So, what are we going to do for this? Here's what we want people to do, and here's what you can win first of all. So, as we've just said, you can win yourself a pair of Stans Flow S1 wheels in 27.5 or 650B, whatever you want to call it. These things are insane, dude. Like, I was reading the description about them. They've been tested out at Red Bull Rampage and at World Cup events, downhill. 6061 aluminium, stainless steel rim, eyelets, and easily replaceable standard spokes mean the S1 is built to last. How about that? They
That
also
is-
come with a faster engaging CNC machined Neo hubs. Mate, and this is what it also says. Flow S1 is the ultimate trail or mountain and enduro wheel set. So I think that pretty much covers all of our listeners as well, man.
So sick. So in order
So-
to get a chance to win these wheels, what do we have to do?
We are going to post a clip, but the clip isn't going to be on our Instagram account. The clip is going to be over on Stans_NoTubes_UK's Instagram account. And then we're going to ask that everyone go over to that account. You got to follow it. And then you got to comment why you want to win these wheels.
There you go. Why you deserve it, maybe.
Yes, it's probably better actually. Why you deserve these wheels, and
Or why you want them.
or why
Either
you
or.
want them.
Yeah,
just be honest. Just be
Hey,
like,
how
I
weird
just want
is
them.
it? You know the clip that you're talking about? That's this clip right now. Dude.
Yeah, how
what?
weird is that? This is like, oh, we're in the
Clip
internet.
is happening now. This is the clip. This is the contest, and this is how you enter.
That's insane.
So actually, you'd enter below this clip
Yeah, yeah, you would.
on the Stan's Instagram.
Yeah,
What?
it's right there. Just literally, just start typing. Like,
Yeah.
just do it now.
Oh, one more thing. You got to make sure you follow them.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
Oh,
we
don't.
might find the best reason. If you're not following them, you're out.
don't do them
Moving on.
dirty. And then
Yeah.
what should we do? Should we go through some on the next episode, and then we can find the best ones.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll do a top 3. Let's do that.
We'll do a top 3.
We'll do a podium and we'll discuss it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That sounds good, man. And
Actually,
also,
on the podium,
yeah,
we could give away some more stuff, couldn't we? From stands.
yeah, we could.
Why not?
All right. What do you want to give away?
In second place, you get 3 sealants, and in third place, you get 2 sealants.
Dude, that's insane. And the first place one gets 5.
Oh, who is it? Hey.
Yeah.
We'll work something out.
Oh shit! No. All right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll work it out.
All
Yeah,
right,
we'll do a
figure that
podium
out.
anyway. Perfect. Big thanks, Stans.
Comment below. Get involved.
So
Get involved.
professional, man. We're so professional.
Sorry, you threw me out on the end of that one.
Oh no, I messed up, didn't I?
Wow, I
Otherwise, we
forgot.
were there. We were there, dude. We were there.
We nailed that one.
Not
So let's just wrap that up, and just because I feel like we went on a bit of a tangent. So you can win a pair of Stans S1 Flow wheels and some sealant, and then we're going to also do a second and a third prize as well. And all you have to do is go over to Stans_NoTubes_UK and leave a reason why you deserve to win a prize.
Make sure you follow them too.
And make sure you follow them too. And tell your mates. Dude, that's important as well, man. Tell your friends, because you know what people love is when friends hook other friends up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
right.
spammy. Just be like, yo, dude, you need some new wheels. Enter.
Exactly, yeah.
Someone's got to win them. So, might as well, ain't you?
Too right. And we're not spamming ourselves in this one, which I think is good. I think we should carry that on as a theme. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Head to
There you go.
Stans.
Go to
Yeah.
Stans. Go see what else they got, what they're up to.
Stan's got a set of wheels for you, dude. They're waiting right there. Just enter the
What a
contest.
guy.
It's easy.
Is Stan a man?
This I wish I knew right now because you put me on the spot, but this is
Okay.
a question I'm often asked. Let me get back to you later on that.
Okay, we'll figure that out. Who is Stan?
Who is Stan?
Oh man. So what else have you been up to, dude? We spoke about me too much, about having bad days and
What
crashing.
have I been up to since? What have I been up to since? Oh, I rode dirt jumps.
Beautiful. What, the secret spot? John's?
Not at John's. It was too windy at John's. We went up there. I've been doing endless digging, but we actually went up another set of trails locally, secret ones, and so it's the first time I've ridden dirt jumps that you have to pull up on. Like I've ridden Milford, but they're real mellow and it's really relaxed. These are actual trails, steep trails. So that was mega exciting, and I did that in a group of 6, which was really that was really cool.
Perfect number, some might say.
Absolutely. No, what I mean is I haven't been riding in a group of... I haven't been with 6 dudes up the trails for it seems like a really long time. Like,
Yeah.
So it was really fun to all be back together biking, because that's pretty much the first time, yeah. Well, it is
Sick.
the first time, yeah.
Good, man. Good. Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
It's interesting, man. It was really interesting. So I'd say I'm a dirt jump guy, and generally I don't worry about following people because I pull up as hard as the person in front. You know, generally I feel like I would.
Which
Like,
can be a problem for anyone who doesn't dirt jump, because if you're not pulling up as high as the next person, you will catch them up.
Like, yeah, exactly, yeah. So I'm a shit person to follow a lot of the time because I pull up really, really hard, and then but then if I follow Jimmy from Leatherhead, for instance, Jimmy Pratt, then I get in a load of trouble as well, and I end up having to jump out to edges and try and pull up even harder than I would normally, and all of this stuff. So it's a real nightmare. Anyway, in trains I was catching people up because I just don't know what like G-force I can put through my ankle. So I'm still not with it, dude. I'm still not with it, but slowly getting there. It was really cool to tick it off, ride some proper steep trails. Yeah.
Good. But did it feel okay? I know you're overthinking it a
well.
little bit, but how does the ankle feel?
Yeah, but it hurts an awful lot. It clicks. It's not very good, I'll be honest, but it's
You mentioned a few episodes ago about having surgery done.
yes, yeah, I've got to go in for an MRI and hopefully have another surgery. So
Would you go for it, or would you wait until like after the summer, or?
no, I'll go for it, dude. It's only
just get
2
it
weeks
done.
off. It's not a particular. It's a keyhole surgery, and it's to remove. I thought it was quite funny actually. It's to remove a bony impingement.
Those bony impingements will get you mad. They're always where you don't want them to be. Those bony.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what it's to remove. They're buzzing off a load of bone that's like basically making my foot bottom out. We've talked about it before, but
yeah,
that's the surgery. Yeah,
just get the old Dremel in there, is it?
Dude, it pretty much is, isn't it? Let's be honest. But I've got to have an MRI before I have that. But it'd be good. It was very exciting news. So hopefully I can get a bit more movement back, a bit more leg suspension. Because it's insane how uneven my legs are now. Like going in the gym, seeing them in the mirror, it's pretty gnarly actually.
Really?
Yeah.
There was a speedway rider back in the day called Sam Ermalenko. And he used to have, because he broke his leg so much, he used to have one leg like seriously shorter than the other. And he used to have a special made shoe, and it was like, however big that is. I tell my missus it's about 18 inches, but
yeah, that's 18
that's
inches.
about...
No, by my stand, that's 18 inches. Yeah,
18 inches. So he had like an 18-inch like bit on his foot, on his shoe.
Holy shit.
It's
like
insane.
18 inches, dude.
Yeah.
To audio listeners, we're making very small sizes on the screen. That's the game.
How is it? Yeah, it's about 12 inches. Alright, okay, I got you. Fuck. Dude, I've got blood pissing down my leg. Yeah, it's not good.
Have you actually?
Yeah.
Still bleeding? You got some problem or something?
So I think something's going wrong.
Oh no.
If I just bleed out on this episode, just finish up for me.
The show must go on. Well, hopefully we've got
out.
someone who can help out turning up very shortly. How do you tell? What does it look like when they turn up on your?
The same as what you see, dude. Just
really,
just a surprise.
I think of you as the controller, the fat controller. You know, on Thomas the Tank Engine, the fat controller. I think of you as being a fat controller. So you have like a. I think
really, I have the exact same controls as you. I think on this.
No,
it should come up as a waiting room. That's what should happen, but
right.
It never does. It never does. So they just appear and we go from there.
Probably all our guests are just like a bit late and then just quickly clicking on stuff.
Yeah.
But they can't enter anyway unless surely the fat controller has to allow them in.
No, I remember like when Warner first came on.
Yeah.
It's just like, and you're like, oh, hello. It's a surprise to everybody. So I don't know, man. It just seems to appear. I just try and keep an eye on the timestamp just so you can like line it up after.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't do that on this recording software. It doesn't.
I meant to ask you, by the way, before Chopper arrives, are you still beating your screen time?
Yes.
And what is your screen time averaging out at?
Shall I have a look?
Yeah.
This will be quite scary actually because I haven't looked. Because I've just chose not to basically. So you go on settings and you search, don't you, screen time. So, that's disappointing. This is only this week though. See all activity. Oh, okay, there we go. Daily average is 1 hour 51.
That's not, dude. It's fine. You work from your phone. That's not bad.
I do work from my phone. That is, but then honestly, I thought it was going to be like.
You thought you were dropping it more.
Yeah, I thought I was dropping it a lot more, but that's only doing this week, and I have been busy on my phone because I think a lot of that, like yesterday, is quite high.
Yeah.
But that's because yesterday I had to use even the navigation on it to get to the place I was going riding, and it's like, and it also, I don't really know how it's sort of countered. Oh.
Yeah. Here he is.
There you go, you see?
Hey, here he is.
Hang on.
Woohoo! It's Chop.
There you go.
I just realised, just signing on.
Hey, it's great to have you on board on the show. This is how I talk on the show, by the way.
I have been watching a few of your podcasts, and I've noticed that you got a bit sick and tired of doing that exact voice.
Yeah, usually in the first like 30 seconds.
But you always make an exception for me, which is what I love. Thanks, Ollie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Chop Filler. Okay.
Here we go.
Hold tight. Scream for speed. Okay.
How's it going then, gentlemen? You all good?
Mate, really good, thank you. And good to meet you as well. We've never met, I don't think.
We briefly met at Rowgate, I think, during the,
did we? You know what? We actually
opening S&M the new trail, wasn't it?
Yeah,
but it was only brief.
Oh, yeah. We briefly met. Actually, you'll not remember this. We met at Crankworx in Leger.
Well, I do apologise. I mean,
No, you'll not remember because I was. I think I was with Jono and you were having dinner with Matt, and we were like, "Hiya," and then bounced.
Well, there
But
you go.
we've not properly met, mate. So thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thank you
It's
for
very much
inviting me on.
appreciated,
Stoked.
mate. Pleasure, total pleasure,
Yeah.
absolute pleasure. Looking forward to it as well.
I've never done a podcast before.
Oh, the virginity.
Yeah,
We got it.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry, dude. I feel like you're sort of built for podcasts. I think by the end of this, oh, he's shaking. Holy,
It is nerve-wracking, man.
I feel like you're someone who, by the end of the show, Davey's going to be trying to convince to make your own podcast. That's what I think.
Oh, I'd do it anyway.
Okay.
'Cause
Okay.
You should do it ananyway.
I'm just
Chopcast.
sponging it all up right now.
Chopcast, easy. Look, he's already come up with a name for you. I'll do a logo.
Here's one.
Well, I won't, but
Yeah.
Chop gear.
Ooh.
that was
Exactly.
it. I was trying to remember with the
Yeah. Chop gear.
dude. I was
Chop
trying to
gear.
remember what that because that was for Sam Reynolds'
Sad,
backyard
yeah,
build.
that's it. Oh, is that?
Chop gear was going to be the.
I thought you wanted to keep that hush hush until it was all sort of going to happen.
Oh,
But
fucked it. Oh, we can edit it out.
I just love chop gear. I think that's just the only thing that's on my mind. I'm not really that creative at the moment.
It does make me, yeah, it does kind of make me a little bit think of sex toys, but I mean, just I don't know.
Just a little
like
strand to love, honey. Just the more sort of the biker version.
Male version,
Yeah.
chop gear.
Hang on, they did it. Can you remember those handlebars you could put on the back of your partner?
Oh my word! Yeah.
Male or female? Male or female?
Yeah, non-binary, whatever. Yeah,
One, yeah,
Mate, that'd make
two,
an
one
awesome
size-
Death Grip advert.
yeah.
One
Oh,
size
God.
fits all.
Maybe-
Including animals. Not
Maybe
animals.
Bren
not
could do it
animals,
to
sorry.
Ollie. Or vice versa. Yeah.
Oh no!
God.
Wow, this is set off real quick. Chop's coming hot.
Yeah, he gets the vibe. He gets the vibe straight away. It's perfect.
Yeah, I actually. So I remember when I first met you was at Isle of Wight. It was White Max.
God. 1999.
But you definitely won't remember me then. 'Cause
No,
was
I
full.
think honestly the only people I can remember then. I remember. Can you remember a guy called Kev James that used to ride for the Orange team
Kev
way back?
James?
Yeah, Kev James.
Kev
And
James.
Luke Smith was there.
I remember Luke Smith because
Yeah.
he was my hero. I had shift pants, really baggy ones, because I wanted to be like Luke Smith.
And I always remember that event because
Yeah.
we set off early in the morning. We couldn't drive, and there was about 10 of my friends, and we're all on real shit bikes. And we had
Come on, dude.
Well,
the Rocket Fab Stage 1 was not.
that was
No, Rocket Fab Stadium.
I know, but-
really?
like it was a cool bike. It was a cool bike, and we were really into it. We had like the Azonic bars, like the high rise gold bar. It was actually, to be fair, it
Yeah.
was a trick bike back then, but
Yeah.
it was shit. It was full of cracks the whole time. But
Oh,
all my
was it?
friends were on real crap bikes. We got on the ferry, went across to White Max. This was like the first event, because the only way you could find out about these kind of events was in the magazines or
Or the newspaper.
or like a leaflet at a gas station. No, definitely not. But like, we found out about it. We went over there, and it was like all against all pretty much. When it was more of a sideshow, which they had a few. I think they had a GT, a Chrome GT dyno, like a BMX bike. And that was the prize.
First prize.
So my mate
Yeah,
had this
how-
real
wow.
crappy bike, which sounded like a washing machine. I did so well in the comp that I won, obviously.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And then, then I gave that bike to my friend to ride home, and I just let him have it for £100. But the one thing I do remember about that event was Luke Smith came up to me and patted me on the back and just did like, yeah, good job. And then from then on,
Nice.
it was like just buzzing. I was just like on cloud nine the whole time, just like, fuck, like Luke Smith just patted me on the back. This is like the best moment ever. And for those of you guys that don't know Luke Smith, he was a massive inspiration back in the day. He was like the only sort of hardcore dirt jumper. Wore a full face helmet.
And he was like moto inspired.
He was just
Right.
he was like Reynolds is, because I always compare Reynolds to sort of a motocross rider, but it back then was just so niche, and he was so freaking cool.
Really different, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was so different.
And where was Luke Smith from?
He was English, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's from down south. He rode for DMR.
Yeah. Well, of course he was.
Full
What?
DMR head to toe, and he had the Saurus D3s on, big fat, like circular shoes, almost looked like they would fit on elephants' feet.
Huge tongue.
Yeah.
Huge.
Also, I said feet then, which is quite cute.
Feet. Yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, he was always like mega factory, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then
And he had shift clothing.
as soon as you and me sort of started to appear on the scene, he sort of buggered off to Australia to be a stuntman for Power Rangers or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Krusty, and then do Krusty Demons of Dirt shows. Yeah.
But I don't know
Wow.
what I did. I think I did search him on Instagram just to be a bit nosy. And
Yeah.
I think he's doing something along those lines. But no, that was like the coolest moment of before
Oh man.
Millennium kicked in. Anyway,
Absolutely. I don't
Sick.
suppose you remember what third place got at that contest, do you?
Nah.
Oh, don't worry, I can tell you.
Yeah. What did you win?
It was a grey GT t-shirt, and I
Oh,
probably
was it?
got a good sort of 10, 15 years wearing that t-shirt.
Yeah, but did you ever ride any events prior to that one? Because that was the only one that I sort of knew nearby.
Yeah, that was really one of the first dirt jump events that I was made.
And it felt like we were abroad as well, because we were on the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
Was it part of something else as well? You said it was a sideshow. Like, what was it?
There was this
Part
big
of.
quarry race or something. Did they have dual
Oh,
there
mate,
as
they,
well?
They had so many. They had dual four cross. I did dual four cross, downhill, cross country, trials, and dirt jumping.
What, you did all of that?
No, I didn't do cross country.
Ah.
I don't think I did the downhill, but I did the dual and the four cross. I didn't do the trials either.
Right.
But they had it was a really big event. It was cool, wasn't it? And it's exactly.
Never heard of it before.
Well, do you know what? If you go to Isle of Wight Bike Park, I think that's what it's called. I can't remember. Isle of Wight MTB
yeah.
Centre. I can't remember. But that is the exact site, and it was the
it?
weirdest thing. Yeah, it is. Yeah, where Sam Hodgson rides.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Well, good.
Dude, you go up the top and you can remember it. There's just like little elements that I remember from it, like because we went there and like camped as a family. Like my poor brothers and sister and mum had to just come and watch me like
Just hang
lose
around
to
in a
you.
big limestone quarry for a
yeah,
weekend.
exactly. Yeah,
On
trying
the
to
Isle
do
of
heel
Wight.
clickers.
Yeah.
Trying to do heel clickers, and you did a 3, right? Do you remember your run? Are you weird about contests?
Yeah, I was going to ask what the runs were.
I've got really old pictures from like a wind-up camera, which we used to go straight to the Photoshop afterwards to get them printed off. 1 hour service, and we'd sat there waiting, eating sausage rolls whilst it's getting developed.
Yeah.
But I remember when those pictures came out, I think I was doing some no-foot cans, some suicides. I don't know if I did do a 360. That was probably more
Well,
your
I
thing.
remember it was like no, because the jumps got smaller as they went through, and the last one was quite a small table. And I'm pretty sure you did a 360, and I'm pretty sure you did a pendulum, which I'd never.
Oh yeah,
seen.
I would have done a pendulum. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was like that.
Jeez.
I'd never seen a pendulum.
So
back
that's a no-foot can one way to the other way in one jump for you listeners.
Oh, yeah.
See what I
Sorry,
mean?
I was thinking of the decade. I thought that was a pendulum. But
yeah,
it's
well,
not, is
it was that. Yeah, it was that.
it? Yeah. You had those in the
Yeah, I
90s.
keep getting mixed up. But yeah, back in '99, I was doing decade. Yeah.
I can't remember my run. I think it will have had a 2-foot can in, and it will have had a heel clicker in.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a table or
Seat
like
grab, like behind the butt, seat grab kind of
something
style
like
thing.
that. Yeah, something kind of just
Something-
desperate. That's
something-
what I was like at the contest. I was just desperate. Just do just more things better.
And
you know?
probably the same helmet you were wearing a few years ago. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That white one with the green and red little lines, the
Exactly.
Protect
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, it was my Siggy helmet, wasn't
Oh,
it? Yeah.
man. But yeah, that
It's
was
funny.
So this is
Back
what,
in that,
late
isn't it?
90s, did you say?
1999. I remember it very well.
1999.
Yeah.
And what,
That's
like,
so
I'm just
cool.
curious because you were both into the dirt jump scene as well. Then,
Yeah.
obviously, where are you getting like inspiration from for dirt jump tricks? Because moto freestyle as well at that time was like kicking off.
Mate, not
So
many
is it a lot of
places.
derived from that, or
It's, well, I'll take you right back. So when I left school, there was this kid called Brent Pitt who was a year older than me at school, and he had this Cannondale, like, Killer V bike with all the Z1 BAM forks. And I was like, how can a kid, like, before he's left school, have a bike that good? And we ended up just hanging around with him, like, tagging along like smelly farts, because we just, like...
Was he a drug dealer?
Yeah, he was, heavy. So like every Friday we'd go there, like pick up and stuff like that. But no, like, so like basically where I'm going with this is like where I'm from, Ryden is dog shit. It's so crap. It's Southampton, where I still live
Right.
now. But the only thing that sort of kept us going was the New Forest, and there was like a couple of little mounds in like the car park, which you just sort of send yourself off, that kind of thing. And right near the end of school, there was a skate park that started to get built. And if it wasn't for that skate park, I'd probably be a Sparky or heavy drug dealer or escort or something. I don't know what I'd be doing. No, I definitely wouldn't be doing any of those, but I would still be riding. But that skate park is what sort of inspired us. So we tended to follow more BMX stuff. So it was all like X Games, Gravity Games,
But
things like that.
how did you follow those things, like VHS?
No, you just have to. No, it was it was VHS, but it was mostly you'd have to, because it was always a delay. It was never live feed to these events.
Yeah.
So you'd always have to wait like about 2 or 3 months, and it would go on Eurosport or something, and we'd all sit there and we'd look through all teletext or whatever it was to try and get the exact time and when the dirt's on and stuff, and we'd watch it then. And then you'd see like TJ Levin doing like flip turn downs, which was like, oh my God, there'd be like a guy come running out like down to where we're riding in the forest and be like, guess what? I've just been watching Gravity Games and TJ Levin just done a flip turn down. And we're like ghosty in our bikes like, oh my God, like, Jesus. Like now it's what you see, well, people doing for breakfast, like hungover.
Yeah.
It's like,
But it's so easy to see it as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
I think
nuts.
it's what I love about dirt jump bikes is that you could live anywhere, nowhere near any forest, and all there needs to be is like a bomb hole near your house,
just
with a fly out.
Yeah, just the slightest of hills. Like my nearest riding spot is a place called Watchmore, which is over in Moores Valley, which is a big sort of family friendly loop. But just off the side of it is like a 15-second downhill, and that's traversing as well. That's all we're professional mountain bike riders, and that's all we've got. I mean, I say professional mountain bike riders, was like I'm a free rider / dirt jumper more, but I mean where Ollys from is way more sort of mountain biking because of Surrey Hills and stuff. But where we are, it was just pure BMX. That's all it was.
Still makes me laugh though, dude, because you go and I last week went to the Athertons bike park, Davi. And like you realise, I'm not like it's like quite like mountain biking is essentially whatever you do is mountain biking. It's whatever you make of it, isn't it? Really. Yeah. But we're riding really very small hills, like very very small hills, and we're riding them at really low speed with millions of turns, millions of little jumps and stuff. It's like so different.
Really milking the hill. Exactly.
Yeah, innit? Yeah, it's really bizarre. So it is interesting, isn't it? It's like
it's nuts. It's like
it's funny that because I guess even where the three of us are from, mountain biking is so different in those territories. Yeah. So you got Southampton, whatever's going on there. Like you said, nothing much by the sounds of it, right? So I've got like the Peak District, which is super rocky, and quite a lot of big stuff, and then Ollys a bit, smaller hills.
Yeah.
Loamy. It's crazy, isn't it? And mountain biking is just so different for all of us, I guess.
Yeah, it's totally crazy. But that's sort of like that's what makes me wonder, like, why did you get into dirt jumping, Ollie? Because like where I'm from is skate park, BMX, and just inspired by tricks and stuff. But you, however, you kind of have a 30-second downhill.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, compared to
I know
what
you
we've got.
mean. Well, we didn't even know it was like we didn't know it was dirt jumping. It was like way more dumb than that. It was way more just like jumping a bike. So like we used to call the dirt jumps were called motocross jumps.
Yeah,
because we didn't know.
What
that's
you
what
called?
we thought it
Is
was.
that what you called it? Is that what you called it?
That's what we called it. We called it because it was a line of jumps. We were like, that's like motocross.
Yeah.
So we were like, they're the motocross jumps. So you'd have a takeoff, and then you'd make a way smaller landing, and then your aim would be to go past the landing.
Right.
And that was motocross jumps. So
Yeah.
we would build motocross jumps.
Yeah.
We did years of building motocross jumps, and they never really made sense. But you were learning the whole time, like, and then you'd learn, like, oh, sick. And then you move the landing, and you make the landing bigger, and then you land on the landing.
Yeah.
I mean, who knew you landed on landing? I was like, huh?
Oh, right.
And then you land on it, and you're like,
yeah.
whoa.
My neck didn't hurt then. Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then, and then I guess, like, we built dirt jumps really without knowing even what they were, which is quite. I really like that about it.
Mate,
Like,
going
so
back
cool.
to the whole Photoshop not Photoshop, the photo store, where we used to just wait for our pictures to get developed.
Oh, yeah.
Looking back, because I just recently looked back at all those pictures, and the jumps we made were disgusting. It was just, it would be 90% logs and just crap, and then just like this real thin layer of dirt, just
like
because
leaves and
it's
dirt.
just like kids are kids. Like if they can avoid sweating, you would.
Yeah.
And like the quickest way to build up a jump is just pile tons of logs and just get a nice little bit of dirt in between, and that is it. And like I took a picture of or my friend took a picture of me doing this super seat back then, and that was back in 1999 actually. And the jumps, it just looked like, well, you know when you look at a load of like tree felling, it's just, you know what I mean? It was just logs and sticks and just broad. It's so ugly, but it worked.
Yeah. Where we used to build was an old BMX track, and it over the years became basically like a fly tipping site.
Yeah.
So people would just come and drop like washing machines and fridges, and we'd just be like,
Oh,
yes,
wow,
like
go
sick.
Bring it in. Yeah, fly tipping
Pile some
welcome.
dirt on it.
Yeah.
So everything had like a fridge in the middle of it, or the landing was built out of a fridge,
That's
or
so
a
cool.
washing machine, or whatever. It was
I
well
always
cool.
think of Kevin and Perry, because we'd build like, first of all in National Trust woodland, and then we'd build on like the main path from the car park, and then when it got knocked down, we'd be like,
What? Yeah, what?
how can
Yeah.
you do that?
Right in the middle of a huge walkway.
Just so dumb, so unbelievably dumb.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
There you go.
That's
I think
so
there were
good.
fewer people around back then, though. Like, you can't really get away with stuff anymore, can you?
Nah.
Like,
Well,
some of the stuff I did
like
as
the
a
fact
young
that
guy.
we've got like designated areas, like S4P
Yeah.
bike park. That's so cool to have like a full-on
oh, and it's
bike
packed.
park,
Yeah.
like an actual dirt jump park, rather than a bike park which has to be safe with tabletops, all that jazz. But
Yeah.
it seems like you can get away with like building some proper good jumps at S4P.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool seeing now more spots actually making it work. Like, and
Yeah.
it not being kind of. It was cool when it was illegal, but also cool when it's legal. I don't know. There's something cool about it.
It's cool when it's illegal, but it's not cool when they get knocked down. That's the problem.
yeah, and
And there's always that worry, isn't there? Like,
But you know it's been taken down because it's illegal, and you're like, oh, for God's sake! But at the same time, you're like, oh, I get it.
yeah,
I kind of get
so
it.
unfair.
Some 10-year-old kids tried to jump something that you've built, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did the name Chopper come from?
Oh,
Because you
God.
just said about like working and stuff, and we've obviously spoken a little bit about sex
Honest-
toys and penis
honestly,
size.
like-
So
it's a really crap story actually, but to just. I do get asked.
just make one up.
Yeah, I do get asked this a lot, and I just say, "Oh, my mum calls me Chopper because I spend half my time in the air." Like, sort of. That's absolute bollocks. But where it's come from is my original nickname used to be called Granny, right? Just don't laugh or anything because it's real crap, right? Granny was my first one, then Jalopy. And these, and these nicknames stuck for like half a year sometimes.
Wow.
And then it was Apache. No, then it was Snake. I was called Snake for about 9 months. These are all made up
what?
names from my brother. Like he's just, let's call you Snake. I'm like, because my brother's nuts. Ollie, that is. He used to ride as well. And then I was called Apache. Then I was called Jurgen for another few months. I promise. Everyone was
Such a
called-
rare collection.
Yeah,
this.
and then he was like, nah, Apache was good. And he was like, nah, Chopper. And then just Chopper stuck. Like, how crap is that? That is,
I like it.
That is honestly why I'm called Chopper. It was just because my nickname was Apache for like probably 5 minutes.
I really respect it because I had a friend called Reese at school.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be called. He just decided one day, right?
Yeah.
There's no shit. He wanted to be called Julio D. He wanted that to be his like nickname.
Wow.
It's like edgy, it's street. I want to be called Julio D. You know,
Wow.
Julio D. And it just didn't stick. And so there's something so bitch about a nickname not sticking. You know,
Yeah.
like. Julio D, and then going through the phase where you're like, are you still Julio D or are you just
But
Reese now?
what's like the connection Julio D with Reese?
There's none.
He just liked it.
It sounded
exactly.
cool, dude.
My name's
sounded
Grant, and I've all of a sudden been called Chopper for no reason. So
Wow. So I was
It's
reading an
nuts.
interview earlier, which you did.
yeah,
And it said in there that it was because you were a lumberjack.
yeah, that was exactly. Yeah, like what? Like people don't know.
So what are you telling people?
No, I think I can't remember.
good.
I'm guessing that was a dirt one. I think I've read that one, but I do remember
I can't
that
remember.
that has stuck with me. But that was, I think they just made it up because I probably couldn't bear to tell them the truth. So
Yeah.
yeah, just because how crap
It's
it is.
worked though. Shop's
Yeah.
worked. It's solid,
It has.
solid
I know,
nickname.
but
You've got to have a nickname. It's
I
good.
still bump into people at the pub, like a few mates from school, and they're like, "You're right, Grant," and I'm like, "What's that?" And then my other mate would jump in. Yeah, he's called Chop now, mate. Like, and this is like, yeah. And I'm like,
Really, yeah.
yeah, it's
Called
nuts.
Chop. Yeah, you ditched Grant. You went all in.
Well, I'm Grant at home, and then
Yeah.
I like
Or when you're in trouble.
yeah, or if I'm in trouble, and then it's like Batman, you know.
Yeah.
He puts on his cape and stuff. Then it's Chopper, but my cape's my bike, basically.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah.
Chopper's cool.
Yeah.
There's a good film. I think it's called Chopper.
Yeah,
It is, isn't
I
it?
have said that as well. I was like, "Have you ever watched the film Chopper?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Yeah, it's not that. Yeah, yeah, it's definitely not that."
It's like the Chopper of Southampton.
Yeah, just sort of waving your wang around in the pub. Yeah,
So what time did that nickname come around? I always reference the Cowan era. That was when I was like, you know, like
It
that was
actually-
when you
no,
went to
I-
Cowan backyard. I was always like, fuck, he's.
I
done
was
it.
actually
He's
called-
actually-
I was actually called Chopper around like '99, actually, but it was
were you?
sort-
Yeah.
yeah, it was. So my whole like competitive career, it's been like a legit nickname. So I'm
Wish
glad.
the first one you won as Apache.
Yeah. yeah, imagine. Yeah, and then every time you read the results, Jurgen,
Yeah.
Snake, and you're like,
Jurgen way better.
who are these guys? No, it's the same guy. Yeah. That would have been, yeah, God, imagine that. But yeah, Chopper's has stuck for, Christ, 22 years.
Yeah. Long time,
Boom.
yeah.
Yeah, when
Long time.
you used to beat me for a lot of those early years.
Yeah, after
over
the
and over
event.
again at different.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. You beat me again. Yeah, quite a lot. But I do remember that Cowan yard as being like the.
Oh man, yeah.
I don't know.
like-
Was that early on in you going abroad, or was
so
that
yeah,
not?
so '99 was my first event, and then there was tons of events in between, like
Yeah.
you know, going back to the whole sideshow, because that's what it was. Like it was more dual slalom, and they had a part of the field where they'd still want to do something with, and they always just sort of dump a load of dirt. Then get creative, guys, and that's when we would come in, and then I'd normally mop all them up. I'd probably win most of those.
Yeah. Cheers, dude.
That's so cocky, isn't it? But I did. But I did. But
Yeah,
I
no,
did.
I do.
And,
And I do remember. So yeah, thanks. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then, but I always read about John Cowan's backyard jam, and people keep saying like, "Gosh, you're still banging on about that." But it was such a pivotal moment in, I think, in the UK dirt jump for the UK dirt jump scene.
Oh, dude, 100%,
And-
100%.
And because no
Because they're
one
like-
really left this country to
Yeah.
like do a big dirt jump event. We always used to look at all these different like videos and stuff, but there was never really a contest. There was like Sea Otter and things like that was around the same sort of era, but that was more of a show still. But Cowan's backyard was like, it was effectively like the world championships of dirt jumping at the time, because all the big hitters was there. There was Straight, McCall, Zink, Cowan, Timo, and I remember I got a call from Ross Tricker, who was a former DMR rider, your teammate, probably your boss at the time, I don't know.
Yeah. No
And he
doubt.
was like, "Chop, I've been invited over by John Cowan, like, and he wants another rider to come." And I thought of you, and I was like, "Wow!" And at the time, I was like, "Right, this is it. This is my big moment." And I was an apprentice electrician at the time, and I literally just dropped it. So I was in my final year. So I was doing my 16th edition, which is like the final part of being an electrician, to go out to America. So I looked at how much it would take for me to get there. I think it was like £1,200 all in all with flights, and we stayed in these little sort of apartments along the way, working our way up the coast. So we started off in a place called La Jolla, I think it is, like quite near Huntington Beach.
Yeah.
and then just worked our way up to the coast until we got picked up by one of Cowans' friends. But I went there with one intention. I was like, right, I've studied all these guys because I was so into it. Like, still am, but like then I studied every rider, like religiously because
like all their tricks and stuff.
all their tricks and what I thought they would have in their bag. But that was only going from like video parts and things like that. So I was like, right, okay, I'm going all out here, and I ended up mopping that one up as well. So it was like, get in.
So you won it as well.
So I went over there and I honestly, this sounds like the cockiest thing, but I went over there.
It's just the mopping up.
The
mopping up.
It's just like a sprinkling of cocky, isn't it?
Yeah,
like,
I know, but like
I mop that one up.
I'm genuinely like a super laid back guy. I really am. But when it comes to biking, and especially during that time, I went to every event with one intention, and that was to just win. It really was.
Up.
Yeah, to
just
mop
mopping up.
Dude, they shouldn't have called you Chopper. They should have called you the
Mopper.
Cleaner, you know?
The mopper. Chop mop. There's a product there somewhere, isn't there? It's a chop mop.
But yeah, that was so that was such a big like thing for me. But I think for the UK dirt jump scene in general, like, it really did put us on the map, and people were like, wow, like the Americans
Mate,
aren't
no
the
doubt.
best.
I remember hearing, so it was before it even, because all the news was through MBUK. Or
Yeah, it
through,
was. Yeah.
You know, like a magazine. So I remember hearing that you'd gone out through word of mouth.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, at that time we weren't mates. We weren't, and it was actually it was.
Yeah, we were still
because it was
competing against
competitive.
each other. It was, yeah, we were. It was like that.
And I didn't really think, I didn't know anything about you really, because we wouldn't talk at events.
No.
You know, and you had your crew and I had my crew.
Yeah.
And like, I never really competed with you, but I wanted to, you know, I wanted to beat you.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I heard you went out there and I was just like, fuck, he's done it.
He's
This
done
is
it. He's done it.
Because I was like, there's no way he's not going to do really well.
Yeah.
You know, in a nice
Yeah.
way, I was like, fuck, he's done it. Because all you need to do is get at one of these contests. And it's like, you're doing the same shit as everyone else, just in weird UK. Like, it did feel like an island back then. It didn't feel like the world it is now. Like, the world now is just like open.
Yes, that's
Dude,
so
like,
true.
yeah, so going back to Cowans' event, that was the first event I did abroad. Because like you said, like the UK for me was just like, this is it. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing. And it was only until Ross said, "Oh, we're going to America to do it." I was like, "What? Let's go." And it was, and then I like I said, I studied all the riders. I went there with a strategy, like, and I knew that there was a bigger line, and I had to ride the bigger line as well to show I could do that as well. It was just like I went there with one plan, and it worked, and it was like the biggest moment ever. It really was.
And was this when that sort of event was jumps everywhere and you just picked your way through, or was it a set
so it's like
run?
Very similar to S for P, but like way bigger because it was America, obviously. And it was like a sort of, it was a jam. It was a jam format, but it was just
sick,
brilliant. It was awesome.
So that kind of catapulted you well good into, like, would you say Qashqai were the next ones? Because I remember there being a lot of attention on dirt jumping back then, like the Qashqai series and
26
a load of other like standalone events.
There was in fact, I think it was 2004. I won that big event, which was like, moppers here, you know, choppers here, and then but 2005. And then 2005 was always 2004 mopped that. I mopped. But 2005 I had a big crash, which I can talk about in a bit, which was a bit of a write-off year, but I signed for Kona, and as soon as I signed for Kona in 2005, which was straight into like the World Clump team, which was like the best team to be a part of. Like all these new events, I started getting sent all these, because I started to use an email by then, and obviously I didn't before. It was pretty gnarly,
big time.
And I started getting all these events. Oh yeah, Chop, we want you to be here, want you to be there. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And there was one in particular. It was called, I think it was the Kona Indoor Dirt Jump event, which was actually at Leogang, where the 26 Tricks events was. But it was also, I think it's the World Cup was on as well. So like all the top downhill riders were still riding it as well. So it's still more of a show. But it's little things like that you'd never have heard about. and the prize money was nuts. Like you'd win like a couple of €1,000. It's like what the. It was so
unheard of compared to the t-shirts that we got in the UK. Really.
Honestly, man, like as soon as you started travelling, like the checks started getting bigger, and that's just sort of what.
That's interesting. So I was going to ask you, like, what? Not that one up. Yeah. But then, like,
dude, you got cleaning to do.
Yeah, I've got some cleaning to do.
So what opportunities opened up then after the Cowan event? Like what?
Yeah, so
other than, do you feel like you just become part of that like clique of now you're in the know and you find out about all these events, whereas everyone else is riding.
Like as soon as I won that event, it like the news just spread worldwide. So it was on in every magazine. So there was, because Interbike was on, I think it was a week later or a few days after. All the photographers were there because that was like a massive event, a great way to get some pictures, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff. And the fact that I won that, there was international photographers just everywhere at this jam. So which was great for me because the publicity was massive and it went out to every single magazine. So Decline, which was big in the US at the time, like MTB Rider over in Germany, just every mag. So
magazines ruled.
And whilst I was there, I swear, and this is probably a proper I don't know if it's a lie or what, but I swear I got handed a Red Bull card because I think someone wanted to sign me up for Red Bull at the time. I think they did.
Right.
I genuinely do, but I think.
Wait, what? And it was like a not a non-established business then.
I don't
know.
Think
people were Red Bull riders in '99.
Yeah, there was Straight.
Andrew
Carl
Straight
was Red Bull back then. Yeah. And I think Robbie Borden was, Straight was on Red Bull. Yeah, he was on Red Bull from a young age, yeah.
Yeah, and, I just remember seeing him in Sprung or whatever, but I guess that was... 99 is after that. Oh,
yeah.
No, we're
but,
old.
in 2004, yeah. So I got handed all these gigs and stuff, but the one thing that I wanted was a Kona card. That was... Because obviously it was Cowan, and I was like, right, Cowan, Kona, I've just won his event, surely I can get on it. That was my mindset, and then I got asked by Kona, and I was like, boom. I was like, I have to take this opportunity, and it was. I never looked back, and that was where it all sort of jump started for me.
So, who were your teammates back then?
Teammates back then would have been Paul Bass, just signed for them after winning Crankworx. Bordeaux, they signed Andrea and Lewis at the same time as well.
Yeah,
Leconte brothers.
Quite a team.
Dave Watson just left because he had to focus on Sombrio clothing. Carlin Dunn, who was just a big mountain sender. Did I say? Yeah, and obviously Cowan. So yeah, it was like we were just.
That's a hell of a team too. It's big.
It was like back then. We were all seen as the caricatures. Is it? They just saw us as cartoon characters, and we each had our own sort of. Yeah, it was just really
that was
cool.
So big because that was so big for like UK to have a bloke in that
it really
lineup of riders.
Yeah,
for sure it was, dude. It was it's amazing to think actually.
And then as you got to know each guy, you sort of knew who to hang around with and not. And obviously, I hung around with Andrea and Lewis because they were just constantly having a laugh, and that's what I was all about. So yeah.
That's so sick. What would you say then? Because it's always good to sort of figure this out. Like, what's the career highlight if you look like up until now?
I think like that was probably my highlight because in 2005, I had
you said you had an injury, right?
A massive crash and it wiped me out. Like confidence level was just knocked. No more mopping up. It was just like. Yeah, I just.
You were getting mopped up.
No
more mopping up. But no, I couldn't.
Everything was clean.
Yeah. Everything was so clean. I think it was clean for like another decade. I didn't have to do anything. So I just let Chopper the Mopper just carry me for the next 15 years, basically. But no, I do think that moment was definitely my highlight, undoubtedly. And but in 2005, I had a big crash. Confidence was knocked, and then sort of shit hit the fan for a long time after that, which was like in terms of just confidence, like mindset, everything like that. And
do you think that was the time where it was would you say easier to make a living out of mountain biking then, or would it be easier now because of all of the access to content and stuff that you've got?
I think I definitely should have milked it before the recession hit, that's for sure. Like, which I totally could have, but being young, naive, and just seeing, like, what I would call now a small pay packet to arrive for a bike brand, you know, I in hindsight, I probably could have gone in with, like, probably 10 times that amount for sure, but that was definitely like the golden era of biking. Like, you could make a lot of money back then. And I heard these rumours of Hans Ray making like $250,000 a year and things like that. You're like, what? I mean, you could do it now, but you have to ride at an unbelievable level, and you'd have to get things written in place like prize matching with your sponsors and stuff like that. And that's when like going back to what you said, Ollie, that's when the Cash Guy series come in. That was serious money. And that's when, a lot of money, like for
what you mean to win,
to win as well. And there was riders like Lance McDermott at the time, or whoever won. They usually have some sort of clause in there saying prize match. So if you won 30 grand and you've got two other sponsors saying we'll match that, you know, you're talking 90 grand from one event. You're like,
one contest,
and that a lot of people milked that era, like, and rightly so. Like, that's what the riders deserve, but. Only if there's like a big mainstream brand like Nissan who put on the series could. I mean,
it was a real spectacle, wasn't it? Because they brought it to town centres. I remember going to the London one, watching and just thinking, "Fuck, this is actually like you've made something that's essentially pretty weird and in the woods, and you've made it actually like it's like presented to people so they can completely enjoy it and understand it and."
I think like the audience for that, I don't really know the numbers, but it must have been monstrous because it was all televised. I don't know. I can't remember who would have. Yeah. It probably might have been Red Bull. I don't know, but a lot of people would have watched.
It's like long-term effects of that as well. Every time, even now, you see a Cash Guy, you have that thought in your head. You see like the logos, and I remember all of like the Nissan dealers, even like the actual Nissan stores had like mountain bikes on them and stuff. Yeah. That was massive,
and each rider received an appearance fee as well. So I think we all got like £1,500 to just sort of be there, and it was like, this is brilliant. But this is the downside to giving a rider £1,500 prior to going. You get pissed, right?
Yeah.
And every single day we would be wrecked, completely wrecked. So I think the very first stop was in Newcastle, which was like the North Shore district or whatever they called it. And I always remember I was up there, this massive screen up. I can't remember in times, wherever Newcastle upon Tyne. I don't know anything about up north. But they had this massive screen up, and I saw my name up there. It was like, and Grant Fielder from the UK. And I was like, yeah, one sec, guys, one sec. And because I had a heavy night before, we were on top of this like 50-foot tower before we started rolling in, and I've took my helmet off. I've perched my head over the side of this tower and chucked up. Like it's just flailing out, just like beer. It's disgusting. It absolutely stunk. And then I wiped my mouth. Yeah, not on the crowd. No, because there's like definitely not on the crowd. And then I come back around. So then, someone else can mop that up. And there was this massive Red Bull, you know, the big inflatable balloon, like at the start gate and stuff. So I come out from behind there because they're like, yeah, where is he? Sort of, and I'm like, wait, like wiping sick off my mouth. And the start drop was like this little skinny, like, and I'm no joke, I'm hungover to hell. And I did the first tail whip drop in the competition on wood. Like, it was nuts. Like, completely hungover and stomped that. So it was like, yeah! But all the riders were just there, just laughing their head off because they knew that the night before we were completely wrecked. I just threw up, and then I just stomped the world's first off this drop. And then, I think I ended up sixth because I didn't choose like the North Shore line because they wanted to judge higher on that and stuff. But it started off really well. I think I won about $1,000 for coming sixth. That was pretty good back then.
Yeah.
But that was a funny little story. That. Yeah.
What happened to Lance McDermott, man? Like, I hit him up a while ago actually on Facebook, and we're like, dude, it'd be so good just to have you on the podcast, just to chat and see basically, where did you go? Like, what happened?
Yeah, like I honestly,
he was really keen, but then we just never made it
honestly,
happen.
I don't know what's happened to Lance. I think he just had like, I don't know, he just had enough. Like I never really had an issue with Lance. I know that he caused a bit of a scene in the mountain bike industry because I think he was just so into it and he was just so slick. And he did, like, looking at him as a rider, you're like, Christ, you look like an athlete. You know, like he did look good, and he was stacked, and he was really good on his bike, and he probably still is. But yeah, he just sort of disappeared off it. I think he mopped up and went as, like, you know, I think he really did. But no,
a bit of mopping.
So Lance did a short amount of mopping, but it was enough, and he sort of buggered off and did his own thing. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Interesting. Dude, I wanted to ask you as well about the super schools and like what you generally do now. I want to talk about the super schools thing.
Right, so super schools. So for the past 10 or so years, I've always been like amazed by kids. I just think kids are hilarious. Like, they are the future and stuff. And I've got 2 little girls of my own. And
I was going to say you have kids,
yeah,
right?
so I've got, my eldest is 8 and my youngest is 14 months and she's called Drew. So 2 little girls, baby maker, girl baby maker that is. And so I just love kids. So I thought it was a good opportunity for a couple of my sponsors to sort of help support me in getting like a little jump box together and basically just showing kids about mountain biking and just getting them into it instead of the usual.
Cool.
Yeah, instead of all the usual corporate sports like football and tennis. I was like, right, there's bound to be one kid in each school that wants to do something different. And yeah, at first I started to do jump shows and just talk to the kids, a real crappy little PowerPoint, and I'd go into the schools for free just because I was into it. And then I realised I could start charging, so I was like, yeah, all right, I'll start doing that. And I got found by, I was at this school in the New Forest, and one of the teachers said, oh, why don't you get in contact with super schools, because they do what you're doing, but it will actually benefit the school a bit more because it's fundraising. I was like, oh, okay. So I gave them a call, and they were like, yep, sounds great. Right, when do you want to do another school? I'm like, well, I'm ready when you are. And they're like, well, we've actually got one next week. And they're a pretty old school, and they didn't ask about insurance and things like that. So, but I got all that sorted out. And then, did that, and then that went down a treat. So what would happen, I don't know if you remember, you'd go into a school, if a company would come into a school with an athlete, a photographer and a sports coach, and the athlete is like the celebrity of the day, and all the kids are like, oh my God. So they all come in, they come and sit down. It's almost like Santa. So they sit down next to the athlete, they have a photo taken with the athlete, and then they go and do a series of exercises. And then right at the end of the day, depending on what athlete it is, they would do a talk or a demonstration. So it might be a track and field athlete, or in my case, an action sport guy who'd do loads of flips and stuff. And that went down an absolute treat. And I was doing that for about 8 years, and then I decided to take it over and just focus more on action sports, and it works.
Oh wow!
So yeah, that's kind of what.
Is it still underneath the super schools? Like,
so yeah, it is still called super schools. So I started doing that, and I took over in 2017 in November, and it was so dated, so I just had to bring it up together, new banners and all that sort of stuff.
Do you still do backflips in schools?
Yeah.
I can't imagine having something that cool when I was at school.
I know, honestly, mate.
I thought the Birds of Prey was pretty cool when we
had
the Birds of Prey in
exactly.
school.
I know.
But someone doing a backflip,
on a full jump box. On a full jump box, the size
really cool,
of a car, like, it's a full gap. It's massive. And sometimes, honestly, go as fast as you can on your bike on the flat, and then hit a jump box and do a huge, like. Sometimes I've made the jump so it's a 4-foot takeoff, by the way. It's got to be small, and I'm going at it as fast as I possibly can. Like, I'm just like, I'm riding up, and I'm seeing all these kids like, yeah, flip, and I'm just like, yeah, like, come on, and I'm just bombing it like this, like anything could go right. You imagine my chain snapping up the takeoff, or bang! But that didn't happen. But yeah, sometimes I'd make the gap about It was stupid. It was like like 25 foot. It would be huge. Like
So you really have to crank.
yeah, like
Wow.
but I'd do it, and every single school I'd go to, I'd say, right, I think because your playground's big, I'm going to go for a new super schools long distance record. What do you think? Yeah! And then it would get me fired up, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like,
That's so good.
yeah, I just get way too into it, and then I just turn into this absolute clown. But then, honestly, the kids' faces when I do it, they're like, that was incredible. And then I'm driving home, like, absolutely stoked, like, and it's like totally worth it. And that's why I do it, and that's why, or should I say, did it. Like, COVID killed it last year. It's completely dried it up. And I just cut a long story short.
So what do you do? What else? Like what's your day to day?
So yeah, cut a long story short, I saw an opportunity to do something for a certain brand.
Don't know who that could be.
I'm currently wearing the hat, and I thought, right, because I like talking. I'm into bikes and stuff. I saw a bike presenter role appear online, so I was like, right, okay, I know this brand very well. I'm going to get in touch. So I went for an audition. They liked what they saw, and I think they wanted to keep it exclusive. But by the time this probably comes out, it will.
Oh wow, we got an exclusive.
We've got an
It's
exclusive.
got an exclusive. So yeah, I'm officially the muck off bike presenter.
Wow.
Sick,
Yeah.
dude.
Congrats.
So
dude.
it's
so good.
It's a role that I'm real passionate about. I do like being in front of the camera. I do like having a chat and just talk.
Can we just clarify when that news comes out? Because this comes out tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be alright. A bit late anyway.
Yeah.
But I've told them.
Okay.
I told them that I'm on it. I wear a muck off hat. They're like, yeah, definitely. So yeah,
Oh, cool.
here it is. So yeah, it's probably going to be made official at the end of this week. But I think it's pretty chill. The guys there, like,
Yeah, no one listens to this anyway, so
yeah,
it's cool.
it's a wicked team. But yeah, it's like my new role, which I'm
Oh, mate, that's
so
well
excited.
And I'm just
about.
trying to think. So what's the role? So like muck off is like down in Poole.
Yeah, Muck-Off's down in Poole, so it's like a 40-minute drive. And
Okay.
yeah, so my availability is 5 days a week for shooting how-tos, rider interviews, going out riding, like talking about products and things. I'm still sort of learning. I'm still learning all the products because they've got so many products. But and that's what I'm doing today at home as well, just researching all the products, making sure I get to know all of them. Like it's
Awesome.
yeah, it's a wicked brand, wicked team, and yeah, I cannot wait for the next journey. I'm
I guess you get to hang
buzzing.
out with Deeks
I'm
more.
buzzing, absolutely buzzing. So yeah,
Sick.
Hell yeah.
Congrats, dude. Congrats.
Thank you.
You
When
also
we-
do the judging. Dave,
Yeah.
do
Yes.
you know Chop does it says head judge, FMB judge.
Yes. Yes, and that's kind of when I guess that's how we, in a way, met first at
Oh,
Crankworx.
of
You were a
course
bit
you
out
know
there
that, yeah.
judging.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, what's going on with that? I mean, it's good to. How do you get into it?
Yeah, I've got a lot of. I'm spinning a few plates, but awesome ones. And I am
plates.
so I am the head judge of the FMB tour as well. So yeah, I'm like quite, I'd say, important person. So I'm like a career decider, really. You know?
Yeah, you are. That's a hell of a
It
responsibility,
is a
man.
big responsibility, and like I think it's quite funny because a lot of people are like, "Why is Chopper like the head judge?" It's quite an important role, but believe it or not, because I've run a business, I understand like when to be serious. You know, like this is when Grant Fielder comes. So technically, if I'm a judge, I should be called Grant rather than rather than Mopper, but. Yeah.
It's not an easy job though, judging.
Nah,
I've done a little bit of those street. It's really hard. And I
It
think
is.
the only way to get someone who takes it seriously enough is to have someone who's been affected by it in their life, like you have, I guess. You know.
Yeah, no, like over the year, I remember being judged by guys that were just almost picked out of the crowd. It was that crap.
Yeah.
Like you would do the sickest. It was mostly friends of the event organisers, and they would be like, "Yes, but he did a really big backflip," and you'll be like, "Yeah, but that guy just did a triple flip." But okay, whatever, mate. So sometimes, like, you just had to take it on the chin because you knew it was more. It was more of a personal thing rather than an actual judged event. When now, I'd like to say that the judging is bang on now. Like the judge panel
sick.
consists of people that know how to ride. So there's For example, there's Gully, who's obviously competed at all like Qashqai series. He's still a big mountain rider. He gets it. You got Pierre Ferry, French guy who's ridden Rampage, Slopestyle events. And I've just recently finished a clinic with not sexual clinic, judging clinic with Anton Thielander, so Swedish guy. So he's
No way.
yeah. So Anton's going to be a judge really soon as well, which
I'll
hopefully
be an
out in
ace
Innsbruck.
judge.
So yeah, like our panel is slowly shifting from people that kind of did ride to people that know how to ride. But you can't, just because you can ride, it doesn't mean you can judge. You've got to be good with numbers and you just got to be a good person with that sort of stuff, you know.
So what does contest day look like?
Contest day, so the judges always stick together, so we're always a bubble. So if we've got like a lunch break, we tend to hang out together. We go ride together, but we're always together.
So you're talking about it constantly.
Yeah,
like who's done what in practice?
No, we're just
or not really.
No, if you want the actual inside info, we just send videos of farts to each other and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
So it's
Standard.
pretty normal.
But you judge each other's farts like as practice. For
yeah,
judging.
we do. Yeah, so like
Yeah, that's good.
yeah,
That's
so it's
94.
It's more audio, obviously. I wouldn't want to see a fart, but because we probably
bit disappointing really to watch one.
Depends.
But like
Could take you by surprise.
depends. Actually, we could do with some female judges. So if there's any female judges,
You can just see his head working there.
but yeah, that's like so. A normal day would be we'd all start off at the hotel, probably hungover. No, we would start off at a hotel, go down to the event, and then we always do a course walk. And if one of the riders can ride the course as well, that always helps because we know which is the tougher parts. Like Pierre would normally ride it, or Anton wants to start riding the course this year as well.
Yeah.
And then it's really important like that we do watch practice days, because that makes us, when we're judging, gives us a good idea on what the riders are potentially going to do. So there'd be like Reader, for example, he'd pretty much do his like a winning run in practice or whatever. But then you might see a rider like, I don't know, Fedko, who would just be focusing on one jump, or Nikolai just focusing on one jump, and then they'd piece it. But you need to watch it all so you can piece it together. So it's all about speed and looking up and writing codes. So, for example, if someone started with a triple tail, you want to write TTW, and for amplitude you want to put little arrows, just for little reminders and things. But like when you look at one of our stenos, that's what we call it. It just looks like hieroglyphics. It's just nuts. So
wow.
and then that's when you compare riders and blah blah blah.
So it's really important that you get everything down.
Oh
like,
god, that's why we've got 4 judges, and each judge has a monitor as well. So if they've missed anything, I'd radio through to production and just say, look guys, we need a replay on hit number 3. We weren't sure if he slipped his pedal or whatever it was.
Right, got you.
But but with judging now, like the level is insane, and the only way that you can separate the riders, like especially say podium, is through execution or overall impression. Like they're so on it. Like I mean, there's the occasional pedal slip, and that could cost you winning the Triple Crown. You know, it's nuts.
Which is a lot of money.
Like the level.
And is it hard as well to sort of not get too caught up in sort of personal stories as well? You know, like, I guess coming into 2020, like Emil's story, for example, was like extremely publicised, and everyone knew what he'd been through with injury and, you know, autoimmune disease, I guess it was. So is it hard, like, to distance yourself from that and friendships as well?
Honestly,
because you know these guys.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean and where you're going with it. But like, I think you've just got to, like, each one of our judges on the panel, and I say this in a nice way, doesn't give a shit about anything. We judge what we see. We see every single rider as a silhouette, and we literally judge. We judge.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, we judge each rider as a silhouette, no matter like Matt Jones, for example. Like, really good mate. I'd stay around his house or do whatever all the time. But when it comes to judging, he's going to be judged like everyone else. You know, that's just the way it is. Oh, Davi's gone. Your video's gone.
Has it?
Yeah, your video has gone.
Can you see it, Ollie?
It's just me and you then. Yeah, I can see it. You're good.
Oh, okay.
No, it's interesting. I'm interested in the idea of you doing a judging clinic. like, I guess there's loads of. So the shorthand, is that across the board, or is it just each person has to understand it themselves?
Yeah, it's an individual thing, and if you don't pass, you don't pass. So, I mean, budget's pretty tight with the F&B because that's who provides us cash to put on these clinics. So we might have to hire out a hotel room, and then we'd have to pay a judge to create a clinic or whatever, and big presentation. And like sometimes we put on a clinic and 2 people would show up, or we put on a clinic and no one's around. It's like, what the? So I mean, to come by a judge is quite difficult, but it is very much up to the individual, and like because I'm head judge, I decide who's a good judge and who's not, and it's the biggest factor is like being able to separate like the friendship with judging, if you know what I mean. Like the last thing we want is any biased like judges on our panel. Like it won't work. Like back in the old days, like I was talking about, like that was what it was all about. It was very, oh, he's got a Red Bull helmet, he's in, you know. And there was blatant examples of that at Whitestyle. Like Andrea would he would deliberately not do it right, like a full jump, like a full run, sorry, and they'd just put him through when there was another guy from, I don't know, Middle Earth who would have done a sick run and he didn't make it. It's like, what the hell? It was back back then. It was real, like, come on, guys. But now it's all sorted, and each guy on the panel is it's great. It's great for our sport.
That's cool.
It is good.
Hey, check out this. Hey, check out this segue. You're both gonna be impressed with this segue. All right. So that's not the only judging you've had in your life, is it?
Yeah, I know where this is going. It was getting a bit flat there. It was a bit too professional, wasn't it? But yeah, I know where this is going.
Well, can you give us a little taste? No, I'm not going to try and make you sing. Right, a lot of people won't know this, eh? Will anyone know this? And actually, do you even want to talk about it?
Yeah, I'm open to talk about anything, mate. That's absolutely fine. But yeah.
Yes!
So,
what is it?
Right, so I had a little moment in my life. So when I wasn't mopping up so much, I was like, what can I milk?
Yeah, go to a different room and mop that one up.
Yeah, so I thought I'd try the singing department. I thought I'll have a little whirl at that because I spend a lot of time on my own, and the same with you, Ollie. You know, we both kind of know that we can sing. We're in tune. You know.
Wait, Ollie you can sing as well, right?
Ollie, yeah.
No,
don't
I can
lie.
do voice notes to chop. I'm not on the same level as him. Basically, but we both like sort of like 90s R&B.
Yeah,
hits.
and we
Put it
can't.
that way,
Okay.
you know.
But
right.
whatever. But Ollie knows he's a good singer. He's like he's a car singer. You sing in the car, shower for sure.
Yeah.
But
you're a stage kind of guy.
I can imagine
you're next level though, dude.
But I can imagine you starting to sing. You'll be like, oh yeah, like you'll just end up going into some weird shit.
Yeah.
But that's the
keep
sort
it
of
soulful.
yeah. So anyway, I thought, right, okay, I don't mind singing a little bit. So I actually entered The Voice. Right, this was quite funny. So luckily,
when?
Oh, we're talking back when I was on Nuke Proof. So that would have been like, oh God, when was the last Bear Claw Invitational? It was just before that.
Didn't get the invite, bro.
I'm gonna rough.
Me either.
I'm gonna
Funnily
say.
enough, Ollie, mine didn't.
I'm gonna say 2014, right? So
Okay.
I got invited for an audition, and there was like, I don't know, it was hundreds of thousands of people that applied for it and stuff. But anyway, I made it through to this round thing where I'd go. It was right next to Wembley Stadium in the Hilton, I think it was. That's it. And I turned up with my hat back to front and some flip flops, t-shirt, just like whatever, just super chill. Like I don't give a shit how this goes.
Were you nervous or not even?
No, I genuinely wasn't because I was there just because, like, sod it, this would be quite funny. To be fair, I probably did have slight nerves because I drove to London for it, you know. And when you do that drive, it's like, well, this is pretty important. So I got to the hotel and I was like, started to practice these lines. And the song that I was singing was, is it Chris Isaac? It's Wicked Game. Anyway,
I don't know it.
Well, type it in, Wicked Games. But it was there was a different version by, I think it was Korn. So it was more of a rock sort of. Because I knew some people there, right? And they were like, right, they're after like a quirky sort of rock kind of guy. So I went there, like having this inside info.
Yeah.
So I was like, right, I'm going to really milk this.
So did you do husky voice? Did you?
Yeah.
Did you...
So, and this is how unprofessional a singer would be. I was in there going, just so I could get that extra like yeah or whatever, you know.
What, just so you sound a little bit more husky.
But if I would have carried on that, like. Imagine if I was on stage and I would have done like 6 songs and I would have gone on with such a shit throat. I would have lasted 2 of them. So like I wouldn't have lasted anyway. But I did it anyway.
And you did it with a husky voice,
dude. So I went into this room.
Blind man.
Yeah, exactly. And then I went into this room and there was this woman there, and like she was real well spoken, blonde hair with a dress and stuff on, and there was this like super cool black dude, like bald head with glasses, like. Yeah, man, like just be yourself, you know. And the woman was like, hey, "Okay, take it away." And then I'm just there like, I'm like, "Yeah, can I hold something?" So I held like a brush or something, proper like it's hilarious. And then I burst into all these songs, and they were like, "That was amazing," and I was like, "What? Well, I think I've done it. And then this guy was like, "Yeah, that was a great audition. Yeah, brilliant." And then that was when they started like talking to me about stuff like, so what do you do? And I was like, well, I actually ride mountain bikes, so I do backflips and stuff. So I was proper like milking the cool side of it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like backflips. You know, you see those massive cliffs, like 100-foot flips, all that sort of stuff. You know, just absolute nonsense. And
just mopping.
And then I did the whole sort of I got a little girl at home. You know, she I don't really know what I want to do in my career, and it was proper like X Factor stuff. Anyway, so they were like, okay, yeah, cool. Well, we'll be in touch. We'll be in touch, Grant. Yeah, okay, cool. And then as I was walking down, I had to go and fill out some forms because I went to see this woman. She wanted to know more information about me because when they wanted to do like, oh, this is Grant, like he does backflips on his bike, so I'd do all that. I had it all set up, so I went there with one. It was great. And then once I finished chatting to her, I was on my way out, and then the black guy was outside the hotel, just sort of having a little peep around, and then he come up to me and poked me on the vest. So I had a vest and shorts on, by the way, hat back to front. Yeah. And he was like, "Dude, that was an incredible audition." And I was like, "What the fuck? This is brilliant." So anyway, I got a call like a week later saying, "Hi, is that Grant? Yeah. Well, I just want to let you know that you're through to the next part of." The next stage of The Voice. And
no way!
Yeah, and I didn't think I was going to get that far. And like, I was down to like the last 70 or something from like 100,000 applicants. I was like, this is nuts.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went to this studio in London. To me, it's just London. Like, it was more of like a proper sort of hardcore sort of music studio. I don't know where the hell it was. I just drove there on the sat nav, and I got there. And they wanted me, and the annoying thing is that they almost tell you what to sing. And it was a song they told me to sing the Eagles' Hotel California, which is like I don't want to sing that, but you kind of have to. And the other one was Lenny Kravitz, like Fly Away or something. But sort of quite rock and roll.
I can imagine
edgy.
Lenny Kravitz one. I can imagine
that was actually the better one. That was the better one. So anyway, I got there, and there was this woman, and she was like a singing teacher, and she sat me in this room. She's like, okay, right, so we're just gonna have a little bit of a warm up. I'm like, I've never warmed up before. And she's like, and she was real bossy, and I fucking hated her. And she was like, right, okay, so we're just gonna sort of get warmed up. So if you can just sort of do a couple of and then she was like, okay, well, I want you to go real deep now, as deep as you can go. I was like, and I couldn't really go deep. And then she's like, okay, like, we're gonna try and use a bit of head voice, I want you to go. She was like, oh wow. And I was like, what? Like, I don't have a clue what I'm doing, but she was like, wow, that was very good. Yeah, well, that was very high. And she was writing all this down. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wow. So
anyway,
actually, like,
so I'm sat on this one chair, and then she tells me, right, okay, so your audition is in about 5 minutes, so just sort of get yourself prepared. So start doing all this sort of stuff. Oh, Ollie's gone. And then I went into this room, and it was so dark, and all the lights, it was a spotlight right into the centre of this floor, and I shit myself. So I genuinely did, proper panic. And I walked into that. I couldn't see it. I could just about make out of these sort of shadows. And one guy says, "Hi there, what's your name?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Grant Fielder. I'm going to sing the Eagles' Hotel California." And then nerves kicked in, well bad, so bad.
Really?
I absolutely shit myself. And there was and I could just make out there was a guy up at the back, like almost a DJ setup, and he was right at the back. And he was in control of all the lights and all the music and stuff. And I was like, "Yeah, if you can sort of press play now." And right at the start of Hotel California, it's like a 50-second intro of no singing. So I'm just there doing nothing. And
you didn't do a dance or anything.
No, and at this, and at this point,
50 seconds.
yeah, and at this point, nerves, my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, all that.
Yeah, vomit on your sweater. Was it mum's spaghetti?
Yeah, it was just loads of alcohol probably. And then and then I just completely choked. It really was. I was like,
really?
And I couldn't remember the words because the whole point of it is you're not going to have an iPad on TV. So if I would have remembered my words, which I definitely didn't, I probably would have been on that. And I kind of blew it there and then. And I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry about this." And just as I was leaving, the DJ at the back goes, "I know you ride bikes, don't you?" Genuinely. And I was like, "Yeah, I do actually."
No way.
He was like, "Chopping." I was like, "Yeah, thanks, mate." I was like, "Yeah, see ya." I was like, "Keep it on the low, yeah." Yeah, honestly, that was the last thing. It was the last thing that was said. But then I didn't hear. Actually, they did call me a couple of weeks later and just say, "Yeah, sorry, Grant, just let you know you didn't make it." I was like, "Yeah, that's fine. I know I messed up, but better luck next time," sort of thing.
It was like the last round before.
Yeah, it was
it
was the fight. Yeah, it really was. And whilst on the subject of fame hunting, I also thought it would be quite funny to do The Apprentice.
Yeah.
So I did that as well, but that was with no insider information. So I went there.
Wow.
It was brutal. So you have to pass the test by sending an application form in, and they even read that. And if you haven't got enough, I don't know, funny stuff to say or good stuff about business, then they're not interested. And then when you get there, you get called up in fives. They're like, "Okay, so 1, 2, you had a number. You literally like you're about to get shot or something." They line you up against the wall and they're like, "Okay, right, 15 seconds to tell me why Alan Sugar should be your business partner." And then I was like, right, what can I say? What can I just bullshit about? I was like, "Hi, my name's Grant Fielder, former world champion mountain bike." just absolute nonsense, because I knew that there would have been no information
Fact
online
checking.
about it. Yeah, no one would. Yeah, nothing. So I just went in there with absolute bollocks, and then I just said, "Oh yeah, Lord Sugars, he's a very keen mountain biker and he'd be very interested in my business," something like that. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, I went through that stage, and then it literally was I don't know, like Streets of Rage, where it was every level got harder and harder and harder.
Really?
And I made it right the way to the top. But I tell you, the process was brutal. Honestly, brutal. You'd be halfway through an interview and I'd be looking over at people halfway through an interview. They'd be like, "Yeah, that's enough." And they'd be like, "What?" And then those people would be gone.
No.
Mate, and no joke, there were people, even when we got set up as if we were going to get shot, stand on your star kind of thing, there was a guy so cocky, and he was like a self-made millionaire. He flew in from Ireland just for this one moment, and in 15 seconds got told to go home. It's like, "No, you've got to go home." Honestly. And all he had to do was bullshit past that. It's just the bullshit process the whole way through.
Really?
Until
Did you sing Eagles at any point? Did you get caught?
Yeah, they're like, "You've got 15." Yeah, imagine that. I got it mixed up with a voice. I'd be like, "Oh my God, yeah." And then, "No, sorry, Grant, this is The Apprentice." Like, "Oh yeah, okay."
Oh shit.
So I'd done The Apprentice, and then I got. Yeah, so you have to go through so many interview stages, and then the final stage is like a video interview right at the end. And when before you see the interview, it's like, let's meet the contestant or the apprentices, and there's always an interview of them being like, "Oh yeah, I could sell ice to an Eskimo," all that kind of shit. I did all that, but I actually got a phone call after that, and they kind of sussed me out because it was a pure publicity stunt for my sponsors. And it was proper interrogation. they're like, okay, so you're a company owner. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, you have you have sponsors and you get paid. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, right. And they were basically saying, like, this is a publicity stunt, isn't it? I was like, yeah. And then, honestly, they were pretty on it. But the fact that I made the final bit, that was down to the last 75 people, by the way. And
wow,
so I've always been that close to do it, like to
there you go.
faking it till you're making it, you know, like. But it was,
and now Muck-Off gave you the opportunity to finally be on the TV, I guess. Or,
yeah, so Muck-Off bike presenter, I'll settle for that, and I'll stick to what I know, and I can show off on that.
Lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Is there going to be a bit of singing, do you reckon, on this Muck-Off channel? Or?
Why not?
Please, dude.
It would be pretty funny, wouldn't it? Christ.
If you can successfully nail a full rendition of Hotel California, that'll be pretty. Yeah, I mean,
but I don't think anyone
probably buy some.
The song drags for quite a bit.
The first 50 seconds.
Yeah,
I can do the first 50 seconds. I'm alright.
I think it was a good 30 or 50 seconds, but it felt like a lifetime. And that, like, if I would have dialed that in, I guarantee it, I would have been on. But like Bear Claw's Invitational was, was the week after, and all my focus was on that, and I didn't really care about the voice thing when I should have really, because it would have been freaking funny.
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
imagine that you'd be talking to me and I'd have like a do rag and I'd be like, "Hey, what's up, guys?"
Oh yeah,
yeah, I used to wear bags. Yeah,
the appearance fee would be way higher than it is for this one.
But yeah, it's I'll probably have a few more followers then as well. But yeah, it's pretty very odd, my life. Like, I'd like to say,
what a life though, dude. I love it. I love the. That's sick.
But
to go from like the throwing up story to the voice to the apprentice to the pedaling into a 40-foot backflip in a schoolyard.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
so good.
It's just random. It's just like my life is pretty random, and I'd say like in terms of ticking life boxes, I've done most stuff. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I've got a couple.
Would you say in your own words? Would you say you've mopped up?
No, I'm still mopping up.
Yeah, dude. Good answer.
I've got so much mopping to do. Like I've just dropped the glass. I want to drop a whole 2 litre bottle. You know, like I've got so much. I think
things stick on this podcast too, man. So people are probably going to be calling you Mop and
Mopper.
And it's gonna be. I don't think Deeks is ever going to live down the Feetinator. I think there's
Feetinator. Right.
Come on.
Just like I know Deeks listens to this, and I just want to say like how much of a cool bloke he is. You know, the most genuine bloke, like loving a bit. So yeah, cheers Deeks for being genuine.
Little teaser, maybe he's on again soon as well.
Yeah, he's a homie, isn't he? He's a long-time homie of yours, right?
Yeah, he's rad. Cool. Loving the bits. And I love you boys. And I love you, Davey.
Mate, it's all love from this side, man. It's all love.
It's just love, man. Let's just go.
It's just one big family, man. This whole podcast thing, we're just one big happy family.
Let's just all go. Cool. Let's leave this podcast and just go mop.
Let's go mopping, bro. Let's mop. If you ever come up to the north, man, come up. We'll mop up.
Let's go mop up north. Dude,
where can everyone find you, by the way, dog?
Yeah.
What, my home address?
Southampton.
Probably best to just follow me on Instagram. Like, I've been, to be fair, the last week I've been really slack on social media just because I've been getting my
don't start with that.
That's good, man.
No, dude,
ride your bike.
Yeah, but I've getting my head down, getting to know my new role with Muck-Off, and then
sick.
So then next week, within the next couple of weeks, it's all ready to mop up again. So
psyched to see it, dude.
Yeah, give us a follow. Psyched. There'll be plenty of funny videos and stuff.
I'm just doing it right now, so it's at Chopperfielder on the Instagram. There's a link, everyone listening right now below. Go shoot him a follow. Say what's up.
Beautiful.
What's up? Guys. And thank you, man. Hell of a guest. Like, insane. Really good to meet you, and thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. Pleasure coming on. Thanks.
Right.
You're the man, Chop.
Yeah, if you just hang up, Chop, leave your browser open for a bit, and it's going to upload all the files, then I can grab them after.
Wicked.
Is that cool?
Awesome, guys.
All right, man.
See you later on.
Cheers, dog. You're the
One
man.
love. Peace.
Fantastic.
I can't leave. Cool.
Yeah, it's tough.
It always
Is it doing that
does
thing?
this.
Is it doing that thing where you got to stay? Oh well.
Oh no, it's come up with a little tab saying leave call, I will. See you later on, guys.
Peace. There you go.
What a guy, eh?
Hell of a guy.
What
Mate,
a
great guess. Thank you. Thanks for sorting that.
Not at all. No, one of my
I think we should
favourites, dude.
probably aim towards wrapping up. I know we've an hour and 43. It's one of the longer ones, man.
Nice.
Do you want? What should we do? Do you want to put out a little teaser for what we're doing in the next week or two, and then we can go from there? We can wrap up.
Yeah, we probably should, huh? We have quite a unique opportunity where you can ask a bike designer anything. Anything at all. And that can be whether that's like opinions on wheel size, components, geometry, suspension setup, any of those things. It is actually super interesting talking to this dude. So the dude that we're talking about, I've spent a lot of time with and asked him a lot of questions, and it really blows my mind actually, because obviously I've been involved in bike design to a certain level, you know, from a rider feedback and from my role at DMR, but it's on the next level when you speak to sort of an engineer. Engineer is really the term we want to use.
Engineer for sure.
So I'm
hyped, man. It should be fun.
Yeah, it should be really good. So we want to give the opportunity for you guys to come up with your best questions, whether it's about high and low speed rebound, whether it's about mullets, whether it's about slack head angles, low BBs, long rear ends, anything.
Yeah. And just keep probably best we'll just keep an eye out on the Instagram, on mine, on the podcast one, maybe Ollys as well at some point. But it's going to be in the next couple of days, depending on when you're listening to this. In the next couple of days, we'll throw that up, and you can ask a question, and we'll put it to said person.
Hey, dude, again, we can use this clip. What?
Oh, comment below.
Wow, we're only just working out how this works. Incredible.
Yeah, we are. That's it, I think. Should we just wrap up?
Mate,
do you want to do a
absolutely.
listening,
No, that was
watching, anything like that, or should we just do it on the next one?
Let's do it on the next one. Let's do it on the next one.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. It's appreciated. Don't forget, though, most importantly, if you want to win yourself a set of wheels, probably go ahead and do it right now. Like, go follow Stans at Stans_NoTubes_UK. Follow them ahead of the time. Keep an eye on the feed, and there's going to be a clip, and you can win a set of wheels.
Oh,
and
what
some
a
sealant.
prize. What a prize.
What a prize.
Fantastic.
God bless.
Thanks for joining us. Cheers for listening. Buy my merchandise with my car on, because my MOT, I failed my MOT. Thank you.
Oh no.
Peace.
Dude, I think we mopped that one up. It's done, isn't it?
Mopped.